morning, guys. It's May 22nd, 2020. I'm super happy to be here with you guys today. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm just going to show you a lot of stuff that I've been sewing and talk about some upcoming sew-alongs and talk about, what a sew-along is for all of you beginners. And so I've got a lot of stuff, and I'm going to just jump right in. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Moda Blockheads. It is a free sew-along, and it is hosted on the Moda Fabrics blog. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what a sew-along is, because we had some questions. Some people emailed in and said, I'm a beginner, I don't understand a sew-along, and it might be hard for me to start and stop and start and stop. And so what a sew-along is just a way to build a community of people sewing together. And I agree that sometimes if you start and stop, it can interrupt. But another thing that's great about it is you can set aside a certain day of the week and say, okay, this day I'm going to work on just this. So that's one of the things that I do is on Saturdays. That's kind of my day where I get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and just sew like crazy, and then that's my sew-along day. So that would be a good way if you're a beginner and you're not used to sew-alongs. Just pick a day that you have a lot of time, and then that way you can make sure you fit it in. So the Moda Blockheads, this is round 3. It started earlier this year and it's going to end in February 2021. And there are different Moda designers and different sizes of blocks. I decided to make all of mine in 6-inch and 12-inch and to do the setting in Farm Girl Vintage 2. So I'm doing this setting. So that's what I'm doing. So if you see a little border around, that's why. So block 18, and you're gonna see my messy handwriting. This is block 18. It was an applique bird right here. It was by Jan Paddock, and I don't applique. So I turned it into this block, and I got this block from Farm Girl Vintage 1, and it's the Winter Star block. So that's what I did last week. And then this week's block is by Zen Chic. It's called Compass Point, and I think it uses paper piecing. And she posted a video this morning. Her company is Zen Chic. So if you want to know how to make this block, you would go follow her video, which is a great tip on how to make it. I kind of cheated and made this block instead though. I made the Sunny Sunflower block from Farm Girl Vintage 1. So this is the last 2 weeks blocks. The one thing that I'm running into and that I'm going to work on this weekend is in the book there's a variety of 6-inch and 12-inch, and so I was keeping the 12-inch blocks for the harder blocks, and I don't have enough 12-inch blocks. So I have sewn this first row, but the second row I can't sew because I don't have any 12-inch blocks left. So I might cheat and just make up some 12-inch blocks to put in there so that at least I can get row 2 done, get those sewn together. That's the beauty of this setting, is that you can sew the rows and then just keep kind of sewing as you go. So let me know if y'all have any questions on the Moda Blockheads. It's been super fun. It's something free. It's online. I love the free sew-alongs. You can join their Facebook group and you can see what other people are doing in their colors, and maybe it'll inspire you to do something similar or different. And there's alternate blocks different designers have if you don't want to applique. So there's lots of options, and it's a great way to just fill your time and use your stash of fabric that you already have.
All right, so I'm going to let some, oh sorry, my mic's not on. There we go. I'm going to let some questions roll in about Moda Blockheads.
Okay.
We do have a new YouTube member, Debbie Chips. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you.
Yay.
And we're going to have next Friday, I'm going to show you on the live stream all of Moda's market releases and Ruby Star Society market releases. But on Tuesday, I'm going to do a members only video that has that also. So you can check that out next Tuesday morning.
All right. And then we also have Brandy Albrighton, who says this is their first live stream they've watched. So welcome.
Oh, yay.
That's super exciting. We get to be part of that. Becky Moffat says, good morning. So excited to watch live for the first time as a member. Oh,
Yay.
that's exciting. Diane Sun says she's a new subscriber. Thank you so much. And let's see. Cindy says, I have a book with notes every time I watch.
That's
Super
funny.
cute. And then a few people were asking about the quilt behind you.
So we're going to get to that in a little bit.
Yes, we are. Okay, and then let's see, from Jill Cooper, she says, are vertical rows the exception to the rule? Newbie here.
I think there's more quilts that are horizontal, but I don't think there's any rules. So yeah, I think it's definitely a unique setting that Lori put together, but I always say there's really no rules. So.
All right. And that's all the questions we have right now. We do have a super chat that came in from Debbie Chips as well, who is our new YouTube member, for $24.99. Thank you so much, Debbie. And she says, good morning from WV, West Virginia, I think.
Yeah, that's West Virginia.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Debbie.
So one of the other things that I started in the beginning of 2020 is each year I'm going to do something where when I sew, I have used my leftovers. And so last year I did pinwheels using triangles on a roll 1-inch size, which was crazy because it didn't use enough of my scraps and it was really hard, but I did provide a free pattern for that if you're interested. So this year I decided to use the 6-inch log cabin paper by It's So Emma, which is our company, and it is where you stitch on the paper. And so I have been working on this all year. When I'm working on it, these are two tools that I have to have. The add a quarter is how I trim, and Lori's seam press, I can press and then not have to iron, get up, go to the iron. So I've been using that to go faster. So I keep everything in my little box. This is my little box for my house, and I have 33. So I'm going to show you all 33. And one thing that's funny is I was going through these and I found a mistake. And it was a pretty bad mistake. And so I've probably showed it to you guys earlier in a video and y'all didn't catch it, but it was a pretty bad mistake. It was kind of funny that I didn't even notice it.
Oh.
I know. I wish I would have noticed it when I made it so I could have remade the block, but with this you can't really remake. So I've got lots of colors. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna set this. I played around, since I have 33 now, I played around with I don't have a design board, I have a big floor. So I got on the floor and was kind of turning the blocks, and I really don't know what I'm gonna do as you know, in terms of layout, but I would say in a month or two I'll start putting this together. Now, one thing I have done, I have not pulled the paper off yet. And I'll probably just sit in a chair one day and just pull all the paper off, throw it on the floor, and then throw it on the trash all at once, and then vacuum all at once. So I've got lots of colors, and so all year I've just been making these as I finish a project so that there's nothing left over. I'm really trying to use up all of my fabric scraps. And it's a great way to remember, you know, 2020 is the year and these are the colors I use. So, you know, last year's, I can look at last year's and then this year's and see, do my colors stay the same? Do they change? So I am super excited that I have 33 now because it's a lot. Mm-hmm. And these are really fun and fast and easy. So, and like this one, for example, I found some extra fabric left over. It was like sitting in a random drawer, and I was like, oh, I'll just sew this. So super, super, super excited. So I hope you guys are sewing along with me on this. It's super fun. And then one thing that I realized as I was using my scraps was that I'm not using all of them. So I got this idea from Lori. I am using if I have anything left over after the log cabin quilts, after the log cabin squares, I'm cutting them into squares. And I decided to do 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5. And you know, you could do more. You could do 1.5 or 6.5, 5.5, all of that. But I decided to just do 3. And the reason I decided it, I was kind of telling Lily this yesterday, is I had these boxes in my kitchen, and they were for something that me and Emma bought, and we never used them. And I was like, oh, there's 3 boxes. Let me have them. And so I thought, well, I'll just do 3 sizes of squares. So I got this idea from Lori Holt, and she always cuts all of her leftovers up, and then she makes a scrappy quilt. So maybe I'll use it for next year's scrappy quilt, or but it's just a way to, once I'm done with the fat quarter or layer cake or charm pack or whatever I'm working with, I just start with whatever the biggest size square, and then some of them have a lot, some of them don't. And then that way I use 100% of all my scraps. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them, but it's just a way to save fabric. And I have these little, I don't know, containers just sitting around. So I thought I'd use them up.
Yeah, and those are from Michael's. We found them on Michael's website yesterday, and we've linked them.
Oh, yeah. So she was like, where did you get these? And I was like, well, probably Michael's, because that's really, I really buy most of my stuff at Michael's. The only other place I buy stuff from is Target, and then I go to Container Store maybe once a year. I try not to go there as much because it's more expensive.
Okay, we got tons of questions coming in.
Okay.
So first funny comment from Pat Bro. She said, Kimberly, you used the block with the mistake for your label on the back.
Yeah, I put it aside. I have a couple of blocks to the side. But it's, so what I had done was the little 2 squares in the center, I had reversed it. So it was like brown over here and then white. It was, yeah. But yeah, I do still have it. I don't know where I put it. I keep like a little drawer of just leftover stuff. Like if I make a block and I don't really like it, I kind of put it there. And then sometimes I'll just hang it on the wall or.
All right, from Caroline Henry Phillips, is paper quilting beginner friendly?
So this is foundation paper piecing. This is super easy. We have a video on how to do it, and we can link it below, and then there's instructions here. We have this in a 6-inch and a 12-inch size, and we also have pineapple paper pages that are 6-inch and 12-inch also.
All right. From Carla Berg Walker, what's the advantage of using papers with log cabin pattern?
So to do log cabins, I always feel like they get wavy. So if I was going to make them, I always use the paper just because I don't want it to be wavy. And then also I make my pieces on the outside edges bigger. And then that way when I trim down, there's a line you can trim on and your blocks come out perfectly 6.5. I'm kind of a stickler for things being like the perfect size. And to me, it's just easier because then you can just, when you're using scraps and leftovers, you can just cut strips and they don't have to be exactly 1.5 by 6.5 or 2.5 by 12.5. They're just strips, and you can just throw the strips on and then trim it. And then you just trim it with, I use this little thing, this little add a quarter. And I use the smaller size. So it's just a way to, you don't have to think as much because you can just cut some strips and then you just use what you have. I don't have to plan it so much as if I was making like a real log cabin. I would have to cut the real size.
From Angela Stoudinger, is Kimberly using different white backgrounds on the log cabin blocks?
Yes. So they're all different. And one thing that I did do is sometimes some of the projects that I was done with, I didn't have enough white left over, or I had a white with blue dots or something. I wanted them to all be tonal, so white on white. So if I finished a project but didn't have background, I just took it from another place, like another background that was in my stash. So you'll see that some are white, some are cream. I'll show you one that's cream, but I did try to do it where there was no prints on it because I thought that might get too busy. So let's see, the Adita blocks, the blocks that I made with Adita's leftovers have a pretty cream background. So you can see that this is cream and this is more white. And I think that will be okay. I did just try to do a tone on tone though.
From Barb's Setter Doll, what width do you cut the strip for your log cabins?
I think I cut them about 2 inches because the pattern says, let me see, I don't even know what the pattern says.
I think it's the smaller one's honey bun friendly.
Yeah, 1.5. So I usually cut them I usually cut them 2 inches just because I like to trim off, or 1 3/4. But 1.5 even gives you a little bit of a room. And sometimes I don't even cut them down. Sometimes I've just got a strip left over and it's like already there and I'm like, oh, that's probably big enough, and I just put them all in a stack. Because when you're cutting, you sometimes have those little slivers left over. So sometimes I'm not even cutting them. I'm just like, oh, there, that works. It's very non-thinking, more like, okay, save it, But I'm just trying to use up more of my, using up all the fabrics that I have.
Okay, from Nancy Bender, do you have log cabin papers in smaller sizes?
So we have 6-inch and 12-inch.
From Jill Cooper, would you recommend saving 2.5-inch strips for scrappy binding?
I think that's a great idea. Lori does that. I wouldn't, for me, I probably wouldn't do it because I wouldn't want to have to press all those seams open, and I wouldn't want to have all those bumps in my binding, but scrappy bindings look great on some quilts. But yeah, I think I'm trying to just come up with ways to save and use all of my fabric, because I felt like, last year when I was doing the 1.5-inch pinwheels, I realized I really shouldn't have done that because it didn't use enough of my scraps. So I thought, okay, well, I have more left over than I thought I did, so let me try something else. So this year I did the 6-inch, and I've still had left over. So that's why I did the squares, because Lori does the squares, and I literally, it was just like I was in the kitchen and I was like, oh, I have these boxes. Let me do that. And then she actually bought me the label maker. Oh. So I used her label. She bought me a label maker, and I was like, oh, well, and then it made me kind of organize.
Yeah, label makers are great. From Barbara Bryant, do you sew all the blocks up in a quilt and then tear the paper off?
No, you tear the paper off now before you sew it into a quilt. I mean, I guess you could do that. I was just going to do all the paper all at once.
Yeah, I did. When I made the pineapple paper one, I left it on there and tore it off after I sewed them all together. So
yeah,
nothing bad happened. Okay. From Terry Thorne, is there paper to make a double wedding ring pattern?
We don't have that right now. And we are going to have 2 paper pads coming out very soon by Lori Holt. So I've tested those, and those are going to be pretty cute.
From D Powell 64, are there videos on both pineapple and log cabin paper?
Yes.
Yes, they are both on our YouTube channel, and we can link them in the chat right now. Okay, from Margot Hayes, is there an update on Fat Quarter Shop shipping, and how long the delays will last?
It is still we're still about 2 weeks out on shipping, 2 to 3 weeks. And it's because when you get behind, basically we have enough staff to do the orders that go out that day. We don't have enough staff to do double the orders, because then we would go out of business because we would have too much. So basically we're hiring, but you have to train those people. So we're just behind, and we are working as hard as we can. We've added a night shift, more weekend shift. We're doing everything we can, and we hope we'll be caught up in a month or so. But there's really no way to tell, because what happens is if we have too many orders one day, then that's like, just to catch up. So we're doing everything we can. And then obviously with the holiday coming Monday, everybody's going to be off. So we'll even get more behind. But I'm just being completely transparent and completely honest with you guys. We're doing our absolute best, I promise.
All right, from Annie Turner, how would a log cabin look without being tonal? Can you make it without so much white?
Yeah, you could make the log cabin with all different colors. It could just be all scrappy. You could do anything. That's what I decided to do.
From Kay Sanderford, which label maker do you use? The font size looks larger on those bins.
Yeah, I don't know. She just bought me a label maker, and I literally just typed in the thing and hit print. So I just know it's fancy. Emma has been using it too. And I was like, well, Emma, how do I do this? And how do I do that? And then I was like, oh, forget it. I'm just going to do the big font. I can't see anyway, so now I can really see.
Oh. Also about the containers from Jamie A. Does the handle in the middle pop up?
I don't even know.
I think like, yeah, a little bit so you can grab it.
Yeah, it does. I don't know how you keep it up, but yeah, I think it does. I don't know how you keep it up though. I don't know.
Okay. From Kiki Alipudis, do you starch all your fabric?
I do. So I've got several videos on starching. I learned that method from Lisa Bonjean, and her original video on that is also on our channel. It's years and years old, but I starch everything. And so the quilt that I'm going to show you in a little bit, everything is starched so that I can assemble that quilt this weekend. But yes, I do starch everything. If I'm going to do, one of the things, if you're using a pre-cut, you can't always pre-starch. I buy pre-cuts bigger and then cut down, and I never use jelly rolls for whatever reason. I just don't use jelly rolls. So it's not an issue for me. But again, it does waste fabric. But again, with this method, I'm using my leftovers. I can go faster. One of the things about people always say, well, how do you get so much done? I do whatever I can to be the most efficient. I find that when I starch, I very rarely have to seam rip. If I don't starch, because I sew really fast. When I say fast, I mean I put the metal to the, and it bugs Kevin. He's always like, it's so loud in there. So I always have to keep my door closed. But when I starch, the fabric doesn't move as much, so I can sew faster and get more done, even though it does take longer for me to starch up front. But I actually like to starch. It's fun.
Another starching question from Sheila Timushuk. I understand you starch all your fabric, but my question is, do you starch pre-cuts? And good morning from Vancouver, BC, Canada.
Awesome. I wonder if it's cold there. So I cheat and I buy pre-cuts a bigger size. Or I don't use pre-cuts, or I just kind of waste. So if it's a layer cake sew along, maybe I buy myself if it's a Jolly Bar sew along, maybe I'll buy a layer cake and starch that, and then use the leftovers in all of these things that I'm showing you here, like the log cabin, the extra squares. So I cheat, but you're not supposed to starch pre-cuts. But that's how I get around it.
All right, from Shay Riddle, can you please explain how to use the add a quarter ruler?
Yes, so it's in the video on how to make the log cabin quilt, the log cabin. So let's say you're on your very last seam right here. And you've sewn right here. You put your ruler here and fold back and you trim it. And that way you've got you fold your paper back and you trim this off so that underneath you trim off, because when you're sewing with paper, sometimes you have a bigger seam because you're sewing on paper, and you know you're not sewing where you can exactly see it, so you trim it down after, and you just move the paper and the fabric out of the way, and it keeps it clean on the inside. That way you don't have a crazy bulky log cabin when you're done. And I also like foundation paper piecing because I can go so fast. I don't have to worry about my seam. I can just go and I know that it's going to work. And even with this, if I get off on the seam a little bit, okay, well, I'm still going to trim it down. It's still going to come out.
All right, from Patricia Galnitz Pelletier, are you going to sash the log cabin blocks?
No, I don't. I haven't decided on my layout. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I played around in electric quilt, which is how I kind of play with stuff. I laid it on the floor, played around. I showed Peyton and Emma, and they were kind of like, oh, it just looks okay. So I'm just still trying to figure out in my head what I'm going to do or how I'm going to lay them out. So, and it's kind of one of those things where when I'm working with stuff like that, I'll just wake up one day and just be like, okay, I'm going to do it today. Boom, and just do it. I was actually going to start putting it together the last couple of weeks when I had the 33. And when I laid it out and then played on the computer, I just really wasn't feeling the design that I came up with. So I thought, put it away, come back to it another day.
All right, from Becky Moffat, are you going to make a rainbow log cabin quilt? Reminds me of Rainbow Baby Quilt.
No, I don't. I think I'll probably keep the reds together, the pinks together, the navies together. So I guess it would be a rainbow. It just won't have all the colors since I don't use purple or orange or black. And when I have been sewing with black in my All Hallows Eve block of the month, and I have black left over, but I'm not going to put it in this.
Also from Becky, she's asking, It's So Emma is named after your daughter. Does she sew with you?
She does not. I have tried, and it's just, she just doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A few people were making suggestions on making either a mistake quilt or, let's see, Kathy Blacklock said you should have a blooper wall and include it with the video bloopers at the end of the year.
Oh, that's a good idea. I could just bring them and say, here, Lily.
Yeah, it's like these are our sewing bloopers, and then it's like our video bloopers.
That would be funny.
From Debbie Kroll, she says, Hi, I'm in the Charming Baby Quilt Sew Along. Can I still get help with putting it together even when it's done? Yeah.
So do you mean like sandwiching it?
I think she means if she has a question about it while she's doing it.
Yeah, just comment on the blog maybe, and we can answer.
Yes, for sure.
And, we did do a beginner quilt series, and so in that we did show how you put sashing in a block, how to sandwich it and quilt it. Gina Tell was so lovely to film that for us because I'm not an expert on quilting, so that might also help.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we had a lot of sweet comments come in. I'm going to read a few. From Crystal Longars, she said, Stitching feels like home and watching quilting on FQS. Does life get any better? LOL.
Yay!
Oh, that's very sweet. From Dory and the Yarn Bag, great name. I bought a sewing machine 2 days ago and found your channel right away doing a racing quilt. So just a quick thanks for great episodes. Y'all have been very helpful.
Thank you.
Aw, glad to hear it. From Rooster Quilter, it's so important for all of you to stay well. Your orders are worth the wait. Thanks for how you are still inspiring us.
Thank you.
Okay. And a few people are asking what the pattern is for the pillow that's next to you.
So this pillow is a Lori Holt pattern. We sell it as a PDF. Off the top of my head, I don't remember the name of it, but somebody can link it. Do you remember the name?
There's a link in the description below. Let me see the name.
But Lori and I, a couple summers ago, we always sew together. This summer, obviously, I don't know what we're going to do.
It's the Farm Girl Vintage Pillow pattern.
Okay, Farm Girl Vintage Pillow. So what we did is, in the hotel room, I made 8 blocks. She laid them out on a design board to like what colors she liked together, and then I made 8 blocks, and then I sent them to her, and then she turned both of them into a pillow. So I made the blocks, and she put them together, and then we have matching.
Yes, and we can give you guys the link to that pattern in the comments. Okay. From Victoria Lopez, she says, do you have any wonky log cabin tutorials, ruler, or pattern? And then she said, I'm not sure if Kimberly would do anything wonky, though.
I don't. It's kind of not my thing. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, we could maybe do it in the future.
Mm-hmm. From K Mood, do you use a clapper to help flatten your seams?
I do, and it's so funny because the other day Kevin was in my sewing room fixing my printer because the kids, we only have one printer in the house. It's in my sewing room, and the kids doing all the homeschool stuff, like they're printing stuff like crazy, and they ran all my ink out. We had to buy all this ink, and he said, do you really use this wood thing? I don't understand. What do you use it for? And I was like, oh yeah, I use it all the time. And he was like, okay, show me how. And I was explaining to him, so a clapper is like a wood, it's a piece of wood. Riley Blake makes them. And if I have a block that has a lot of seams, especially if they're open or just a lot of seams, once you iron it and it's still hot, you put the clapper on top and walk away, and it keeps it flat. It kind of, I don't even know how it works, but I do use it a lot.
Okay, a lot of people were also saying they love your blouse.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so funny story on this is it's from Talbot's, and I got it the last weekend that I went to a dance convention because I didn't pack enough clothes. Oh. And on Saturday, I was like, wait a minute, I don't have a shirt for tomorrow. So I told, we were luckily, the dance convention was in a hotel, and I said, Emma, we just have to run to either Ann Taylor or Talbot's or something because I don't have a shirt. And so I bought it only because I didn't have anything to wear. It was like we were there for 3 days instead of 2, and usually we're there for 2. And I pack light, so I just bought it because I didn't have anything to wear the next day. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, I could wear the same shirt. But then all the moms would be like, she's kind of dirty.
Oh, well, it's a good purchase. Very cute shirt. And then also lots of people are admiring the ruler wall hanging we have next to the quilt on that
So
side.
that's brand new. So it is, it's called a canvas, measure up canvas ruler wall hanging, and it's pre-made. It's from Moda, and it's just at the very top of it, it says Moda. It's got a little thing that says Moda, and you can just put it on the wall, and it's super cute. And I'm thinking about taking it home or getting one and putting it in my house. Mm-hmm. I could just see my kids swinging off of it, though. Like, I don't know about if it's the best idea.
That's funny. I feel like I would measure myself next to it constantly.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't think the measurements, I don't know if they're accurate to anything, but that would be fun. We do also have a link if you would like to purchase it. Okay, I have a lot more questions, but I'm going to save those for after our next topic.
Okay. So Jolly Bar Sew Along, I'm going to show you the quilt. I made this a couple of weeks ago, or actually a couple months ago. The fabric that I used is Bloomington by Lella Boutique. So here is the quilt. And I'll show you the back. And on the back at the very bottom is my label. And so we are doing a brand new sew along. It's featuring our new book, the Jolly Bar book. And this is the Jolly Bar I used. I used a layer cake and trimmed down. I know, don't do it. It's a waste of fabric. Don't email me that I'm wasting fabric. I already know. So we moved it back because of our delays in shipping. And so we are now starting it on June 27th. It gives you plenty of time to get your fabric. There is this great download that you can get off of our blog or maybe in the links to this, and it will show you what you need to get if you want to sew along with us. So it's another sew along, and each week we will give you like a little download of make this many of this block or cut this many fabric A squares. You obviously need the book to sew along, but it's really, really pretty. And this one does use it uses all of the Jolly Bar. So you're going to have like no waste.
Also, it starts June 29th.
Oh, sorry. Whatever I said. Sorry. I don't know what I said. June 29th, 7 weeks total. It goes all the way to August 10th. Yes. The quilt is 51 by 56. And all the fabric requirements are in the blog. Mm-hmm. And it's just it's very beginner friendly. And it's another sew along. We do a lot of sew alongs here. It's a way to build a community. I feel like it's fun to see what everybody else is stitching. And we have the Kimberly Stitch Squad on Facebook, and it's fun to see, somebody might make this in batiks, or they might make it in Tulip Pink, or they might make it in K fabrics, or they might make it in Kim Deal fabrics. Everyone does something different, and so it's really fun to see that you can make a quilt your own. Like the Charming Baby sew along that we just finished, most people who made it, they didn't make it in baby fabrics. So
let's see, we have a question here from Victoria Lopez. Is the Jolly Bar beginner friendly?
Yes.
Really though, total beginner here.
Yes, it is very beginner friendly.
All right. Okay. And from Wilma Evans, how do you use the layer cake to cut Jolly Bars? When I starch a layer cake, it is shorter than 10 inches.
It is shorter on one side. The other side is not. So when you shrink fabric, it shrinks one direction and not the other. So I just make sure that when I'm cutting, I keep that into account.
Okay. Julie Strange says, is it possible to get the Jolly Bar book as a PDF or ebook?
No, sorry.
All right. And then
we don't do our books. We don't do our books as ebooks because if we did that, we wouldn't be able to. So, when you print a book, you have to buy so many to get the price down. So if we offered it as a PDF, we would sell half as many books, and then we wouldn't be able to get the price down enough to be able to make a profit. And so then we wouldn't even be able to sell the book. So it's just a business decision. We're just not big enough to do that. Like if we were like a big Amazon or something, we would obviously do it, but we have to work with the economics of supply demand. You know, the more you buy, the more the price goes down, and probably everything would be priced higher.
Geraldine Bond says, what is a Jolly Bar?
So a Jolly Bar is 5 by 10 inches. It's an exclusive cut at Fat Quarter Shop. In every Jolly Bar on the back is a free pattern. They're all different. And so we have 2 Jolly Bar books that take older free patterns and put them into a book, because we had so many people say, well, I like that pattern, but I don't like that Jolly Bar. So that's kind of why we did the Jolly Bar book. And it's half a layer cake or double a charm pack.
And then we did have a few new members join, so I'm going to shout them out. Karen Sharp is a new member. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you.
And Holly Moore is also a new member. And then she had a separate comment that said, I discovered FQS on YouTube a few weeks ago. I'm a little obsessed. Thank you for all the great, easy to follow videos.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly. All right, and then we also had some super chats come in. One from Susie Clary for $49.99. She says, love y'all. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you so
much.
That's so
Susie.
Generous. Thank you.
Very generous. Oh my gosh. You guys are the best. Okay. And then a few questions that we got earlier from Angela Stoudinger. What kind of quilt batting do you use?
Oh my goodness. I think I use the 80-20. Years ago, we have 2 quilters that we use. We use Gina Tell of Thread Graffiti, and we use Mike Selman with mylongarm.com. And honestly, we buy these big tubes of it or rolls of it from Quilter's Dream, and we ship them to them, and then I pay for the batting for my employees' quilts. So whatever it is, it's at the Quilters. But 80-20 is what I think it is, but I think it's the Quilter's Dream brand.
This is just a great comment from Jean Vanessa. She said, I need labels. Online I go. Happy the Jolly Bar Sew Along is pushed back. Need to catch up on Charming Baby and Bloomtopia. And she put a little winky face.
Aww.
That was cute. From D Powell 64 about the Jolly Bar Row Along. How does the sew along work? Is there a video or just all on your own?
So it's on the blog each week, and we give you a sheet, and it will say, refer to this page in the book, cut 100 A's or 20 A's, cut 4 B's, and then you refer to the book for the size. And so there's no videos or anything like that, but it's really easy. And it's 7 weeks. Very easy. I made this quilt in a day, like probably half a day. It was quick.
From Carla Berg-Walker, she says, I bought my portable clothesline and did Kimberly's starching method for the first time. It's challenging with the 3-yard cuts of grunge dots. Any tricks on starching larger pieces?
So for larger pieces, what I do is I will cut them down. One thing that I do though is anytime I make a quilt, I make the borders length of fabric. So I first figure out, okay, my borders, figure out keeping that length together. Now, most patterns call for width of fabric. I just convert them to length and buy more because I don't like to do that seam. I don't have time to do that seam. It's just a way, and I like the strength of that length of fabric because it doesn't stretch. So I feel like my quilts come out more square. So if it's like just a background, I'll just cut it up into half-yard chunks. But if you need it for a length, or if you need it for like a big piece, figure that out first.
Okay, from Jacqueline Yvonne Woodard. I have always been curious, did Kimberly come up with the Jolly Bar because it's her last name?
Yes. So we wanted a special pre-cut, and so I think I came up with the size, but someone else came up with the name. Yeah, Kevin really doesn't like that everything is called Jolly. He thinks it's silly.
Oh, I think it's cute.
I know, I do too.
All right, from Diana G. Will the newest fabric design by Maureen McCormick be available in the Jolly Bar?
As of now, no, but that's actually a pretty good idea. Lily's going to email me after
Okay.
this, and I can talk to Nova and see if we can still add it. So Maureen McCormick is Marsha from Brady Bunch, and she is releasing a fabric from Moda, and it is so cute. And so I'm going to show it to you on Monday. It's right over there.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Nice.
She didn't put it to look. I knew of pop culture.
And I know who that is. This is great.
Yeah, we're like totally different generations. It's funny, like what she watches versus what I watch, but
very different. But I like that. I always learn from you.
But I tell her like bad stuff. I'm like, okay, you can watch this, but not at work. It's got a lot of really bad words, but it's
That's hilarious. From Scarlett Dell, do you ever do English paper piecing?
I don't, but we have some wonderful videos from Tulip Pink that we just posted, and they've been so popular. And I loved what she taught. She taught a lot about where you cut your thread versus not your thread, and that's even applicable to binding or applique. So there's a lot to be learned in those, and I don't know why I don't English paper piece. I mean, I like it. I just think it's a lot of prep, maybe. And I just don't know. For whatever reason, I don't. I do know that the brand new Bonnie and Camille called Shine On comes with some honeycombs. And I saw them and was like, well, maybe I'll have to because they're already pre-cut. So I thought, well, maybe I might attempt something with that.
All right. From Patricia Hines, do you have recommendations for a beginner wanting to learn to quilt?
Yes, we have the beginner quilt series, and so that is our most in-depth quilt along, and so it's a completely free pattern. All the information is on our blog and on our YouTube channel, and there is a playlist for it, and you can start with block 1, and it's completely free. You can use fabric from anywhere, and I try to go in depth of just very beginner things.
Yeah, no, super fun series to try. And then we just have a couple more super chats, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Jess Burler for $5. She said, "Thank you for all you do," and she put a little heart emoji.
Thank you.
That we made. Thank you, Jess. And from Michelle Moore, also for $5, she says, "Hugs and kisses from Kelton, Texas."
Oh, I wonder where that is.
I was about to ask you.
I don't know. I'm from Texas. I've been everywhere here, but I don't know where that is.
Let us know where that is, Michelle.
Maybe. I bet it's by Dallas. There's all kinds of stuff by Dallas. I feel like Dallas is like a metropolis of a metropolis. So we are about to host another sew along, and it is in conjunction with Lori Holt. Lori Holt came up with the idea. It's called the Be Patriotic Sew Along. All of this information is on our blog and on Lori's blog. Lori's blog is beandmybonnetco.blogspot.com. And what she wanted to do with this series is, this book, Vintage Christmas, is Christmas, right? But anytime she makes a book, she doesn't want it to just be that. So she wanted to show how you can take the Vintage Christmas book and make it not Christmas. So all the information is on our blog. This is the Fat Quarter bundle that she is using and I am using. It's called Be Patriotic. There is a background, and all of that information is all of the SKUs and everything. And we only have a certain amount of these left. When they are gone, we will have more around June 15th. Basically, right now, everything is like, there's a shortage of everything. So I bought as much, like I bought everything I could from Raleigh Blake that they had to make as many. And then they're getting another shipment in. So Be Patriotic takes 12 blocks from Vintage Christmas. You can do it in a 12-inch size, which is behind me, and it's Lori's. So this is Lori's actual quilt. Or you can do it in 6-inch. So what I did is I made my blocks 6 inches. So I'm going to show you my blocks. I used the same exact fabric Lori did, except one block I made a mistake and put the wrong fabric. So I'm using the same exact bundle, same exact fabric. I'm just doing the 6-inch size. So this weekend, I'm going to put together my quilt. And I'm going to use the same exact fabric that Lori used. And I set a world record in my house and made these blocks in 7 hours.
Wow.
Oh, I was on a roll. Basically, what I did, I got up really early. I went to Starbucks to motivate myself. The one thing that made it quick for me is Lori had already sewn the blocks. So that takes half the work out. Lori sewed the blocks, so because she sewed the blocks, I didn't have to think about fabric placement or anything like that. So all I had to do was grab my bundle. It was already starched when I woke up. And I took 12 design boards, which are these little design boards. You can either buy them from us or you can make them yourself. There's a video, it's one of the very first videos we ever filmed with Lori on how to make them at home. And I took 12 design boards, I cut all of them, so I cut all 12. And then I did everything at the same time. So if there was a flying geese, I did all my flying geese at the same time. And I would just take all the boards to the cutting or the ironing board. I did all my half square triangles at one time. So I basically did it kind of like an assembly line. And so this is what I did. And I bought the background and the binding and the border and all that. I have it starched. And either tonight when I'm watching Dateline or tomorrow I'm gonna get up super early. I'm gonna finish this quilt and I'm gonna show you next week. I did not buy backing because I'm gonna try to do something fun on the backing. I've got a lot of Lori stash in my closet, so I think I'm just gonna put something together instead of buying backing. Why buy something when I already have it? So that's super fun. This sew along starts June 1st. If you want to make the small quilt, it's 35 by 43. If you want to make the large quilt, it's 70 by 86. And the best thing about this is when she's done, obviously this is a ton of fabric. So you're going to have leftovers. So 2 things. She's going to show how you use the leftovers in 2 different ways, and she has something fun planned for the back of the quilt. She told me not to show you guys, so I also have to do that this weekend. But we can't. She wants to really hold that as a secret so that it gives you something to look forward to. So if you're doing this, don't put your back together yet. She has kind of a surprise for you, and then we're going to use leftovers from this for something else she has planned. Maybe it's a table runner. And then she did put her vintage trim, which is her little rickrack, in her binding. Mm-hmm. You can barely see it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. We'll see how I feel. I love the look of it. I just don't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm going to get it all put together. I'm going to text Gina. Gina, if you're watching, do you want to quilt it? That way I don't have to text you. I could maybe meet you on Sunday somewhere. Drop it off.
That's funny. Okay, a few questions here. Sue Cleek says, what is the background fabric for Be Patriotic?
It is 6384-blue. It is a Lori Holt fabric, and we have a ton of it in stock. And so from far away, you probably can't tell, but it has blue little circles on the white. But once you hang it on a wall or put it on a couch, you're not going to see that.
All right. From Gianna Reichley, how do you keep the design boards clean? Mine has a ton of thread stuck to it, and picking them off is terrible.
Oh, well, yeah, you could either pick them off or leave them dirty. Some of mine are dirty, or you can use a
lint roller.
Lint roller. So it's a good thing to give your kids. Hey, pull this off. I have one kid, he cleans all day long. Yesterday I had to stay home because I had to get some stuff done for work that involved sewing, and so I had to do it at home. And one of my kids was like vacuuming, sweeping. I mean, they're so bored. They're like cleaning the house. They clean the baseboards. So I mean, they'll clean those boards.
From Joan Martin, she says, I was so tempted to buy Be Patriotic, but I'm still waiting for my last order. It will be a month-long wait by the time I receive it. Do some things ship quicker?
So anything that you order that is not yardage will ship about 4 to 5 days quicker. So.
Yes. Okay. Tammy Raymond says, do you ever participate or host a quilting retreat?
I don't. I mean, eventually one day I will. I like to spend time with my kids. And to do a retreat, there's so much prep work before, during. It would be a whole weekend away from my kids. I don't know. Maybe when they're older. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to do the work. Like, I don't want to do the work in terms of, like, I'm not a party planner. Like, if you come to my house, I'm not good at that. Like, I'm not good at, oh, do you need a drink of water? Having all that food out. I don't really, it's not, I would feel kind of like I wouldn't know what to do. I'm just socially, everybody's got, like, things they're not good at. And I know that's one thing that I'm not good at. I'm not, like, a hostess. I'm just not good at it. And I don't want to, like, somebody to meet me and be like, she's not very nice. I don't always know what to do in situations sometimes.
Okay, from Gwen Smith, did Kimberly use triangle paper on Be Patriotic?
I did, and it was just random. Oh. So basically when I'm reading any pattern, whether it's Lori's or ours or anybody's, I just do the math in my head, and I just pull the paper because I have it organized, and I did use triangle paper. I don't know exactly which ones I used, but I just do the math as I'm going. And I just basically that morning, I just loaded up on tea. I think I had 2 teas, and I was like, I didn't stop. I mean, to eat lunch, I might have stopped for 5 minutes, but I just powered through. So, I mean, I was so excited. I was like, look, I finished. My kids are like, what? We don't care.
All right. Funny comment from Teresa. She says, do you rent your kids out for cleaning?
Oh my gosh, I would. I'm not kidding. They like it. We had to get a new vacuum cleaner because ours broke or whatever. Actually, 2 of them broke. We had 2. One that was like our old vacuum cleaner. Anyway, so we just bought one, and like they love it. Like they like to go like move it from the floor setting to the carpet setting. I'm like, I don't even know a vacuum cleaner had that. Whatever. Like they like it. And we have the Roomba, and they set that thing to go, and then when they set the Roomba off, they move the chairs so that it knows where to go. I mean, they like it. I'm not kidding. They amaze me, but they're bored. I mean, yesterday was the last day of school, so I really don't know what the heck we're gonna do because there's nothing to do. We tried to get a trampoline because that was a good idea, and we went. There's only 2 stores that I could think of that would have them, and they were out. So we looked on Amazon, and they're really, Amazon took a lot of non-essentials off, and the earliest we could find one was like June 10th. So we're like, oh, I don't know, maybe I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what my kids are going to do this summer. They're already going out of their mind.
Okay, and then we got a couple of requests to see a close-up of the Be Patriotic fabric and then a close-up of the rickrack on the quilt.
Okay. So, how do you want to do it?
So
I'll do this first. Okay. I'll stand here. You fix that. I think there's 44. And Lori did pick all of these fabrics. And then I'm going to let her do So she used a pink binding and red rickrack. And so what you do is once your quilt is quilted, then you put your rickrack down, do like a big fat basting stitch, get it in place, and then do your binding on top. Or that's how I do it. And I believe that Lori probably has a tutorial on her blog, which is beinmybonnetco.blogspot.com, on how to do it.
Let me just fix my angle here. Okay. There we go. Camera didn't want to sit still. Okay. From Lucky Jukerman Scott, can we use the log cabin paper on a quilt as QATG?
Quilt as you go.
Okay. Very new. Hope this makes sense.
No, I don't think so, because when you do quilt as you go, you would need to have your backing on at the same time. I mean, I guess you could put batting in between it, but then you wouldn't, when you're doing it, you wouldn't be able to see your lines between it, so you wouldn't know where your fabric goes. So I would say probably, maybe no.
From CJ, is there going to be a special edition sew sampler for spring summer this year?
Yes. I don't have a date on that.
Okay. And then we just got a lot of great comments about the beginner quilt series. From Chris Hollysek, they said the Ultimate Quilt series is fab, really helped me quilt so much better and gain confidence. If you are a beginner, go for it.
Thank you.
From Vicky Robles, she said, I referred a friend in Montreal to watch and sew along on the Quilter's beginner quilt series, and she thanked me as she learned so much.
Thank you. And we've seen so many young women, like children, doing quilts. It's amazing. Like, I wish I could get my daughter to do it. But it's kind of one of those things where, you know, my kids, they want to be their own person. They don't want to be like a replica of me. So I'm pretty sure I think when she's an adult, she will want to learn. But right now, I think she's like, I want to be my own person. And that's why she doesn't sew.
Also Michelle Moore said, Kelton is east of Amarillo in the Texas Panhandle. It is a tiny, unincorporated community, probably less than 100 people, but we are very proud.
Oh, awesome. That's far away.
Yeah,
I did want to let you guys know that we have a YouTube channel for cross stitch. It's called FQS Cross Stitch.
Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube.
Sorry. And this is a brand new series that's coming out from Lori Holt. And she has some brand new library cards to label your cross stitch. And I wanted to talk about this with you guys. Some of you guys have emailed and said, you know, I really want fabric out of that. So I have passed that on to Lori, and Riley Blake does all of Lori's fabrics. So that is a contract she has with them. I can't print her fabric, nor do I want to. So I have passed that message on to Lori, and her and Riley Blake can take it from here. If that's something you're interested in, I have passed that on. I don't want you guys to think that I'm ignoring you or anything like that.
From Debbie Miller, is the Lori Holt sew along yardage or fat quarters?
So it's fat quarters, but really it's just scrappy. Like if you want to do the Be Patriotic sew along, you can do it from your stash. You don't have to buy anything. I mean, you obviously need the book, but a lot of you guys already have the book.
Okay, from Robin Winter, is the Be Patriotic sew along going to be available as a kit that you can order?
So what we have is we have the bundle, and then on the sheet we have the yardage that you would need to buy, and it's sold separately. And the reason why is there's two versions, a 6-inch and a 12-inch. And so, you know, just so you can do whatever you want to do. You can kind of make it work. I did want to give a big shout out. Steven contacted us to tell his wife Jenna happy birthday. He says she's turning 29 again.
Yay, go Jenna.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jenna. Also, congrats to Steven for being an amazing husband.
Oh yeah, he contacted us a couple of ways.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I got like a couple emails, and I was like, is this the same person?
Yeah, we're like, how many birthdays are there this Friday?
But then I was like, oh, it's the same person. He was determined to get a shout out.
Go Steven. And go Jenna. All right, so we got lots of questions here. From Beth Johnson, will you ever show us your warehouse?
No. Sorry.
Carla Deloach, have you done a tied quilt? If so, is there a video for that?
No. I don't know what that is, so sorry.
It's like instead of quilting it, you like tie it.
Oh, tie it. No, yeah. I don't. No, I don't. I haven't done that.
Okay, from Kathy Fisher, I love the Corey Yoder wovens, but not sure what to make. Any ideas?
So I think a lot of what she has done is just sewn them into normal blocks. If you did like a turning 20 quilt, that would be really pretty because it's big chunks. Or just incorporate them with your cottons. And she has a really great blog that I'm sure has some information on it. But they're really pretty and really soft. I would definitely starch those because they're a looser weave. So it would add some stability to it before you sew with it.
Elise DuPont says, does your son sew at all? I have 3 boys and my 3-year-old wants to sew with me all the time.
No, they don't. I don't know. No, they don't. One is way too hyper to, one, he reads books, that's all he does. And the other one, he cleans all day. I mean, like, no. I mean, and I've asked him, like, do you want to sew? And I don't know. I think it's kind of like, that's mom's thing. I don't know. They just don't. And I don't ever want to push them to do something. Like, I think that's the worst thing. I don't know. They're kind of their own people, and they're like their mom. They're very like, this is who I am. You will not change me. Do not try. They're kind of very, all 4 of my kids have a strong, I don't want to say attitude, but just a strong disposition. So I don't think I'm going to be able to talk them into anything ever.
Okay, from Becky Moffat, am I able to look up the comments after the live stream? I want to look up some links and don't want to miss anything live.
Lily can answer.
Yeah, so after the live stream, YouTube takes a few hours to process like the live chat we had, but like all the links in our description box are there the whole time. So you can always check the links, and then the comments will be available after a couple hours. Okay, and you can always rewatch the live stream. That's on YouTube immediately afterwards.
It just won't have the comments yet.
Yeah. Okay. From Glenda Mitchell, is there ever going to be a 12-inch log cabin foundation paper?
There is.
There is.
Yep. So it's just like this. It's just 12-inch.
Okay. From Cassie Jackson, random question. The general advice for applique is assemble quilt first, then quilt the layers, then applique. I am making the free candy dish pattern. The question is, won't the applique when attached mess up the quilt design on the back of the quilt? Your insights are appreciated.
So I would applique before you quilted. I would never add the applique after. I would just treat the applique just like a regular block. Mm-hmm. Some people don't like the quilting to touch the applique. Mm-hmm. So if you are somebody who doesn't want it, then you would just get somebody to custom quilt it and they would quilt around it. But I would applique before. And really, I mean, some people don't care if the applique is on top of it. Like Ann Sutton, she's like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Some people do like it. You know, it's all different how people like it. So do whatever you like. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to, just because one person does it, you don't have to do it. You can always do something different. So
Cassie was also asking, can we make homemade starch to save money? A previous video you said the starch should not be cornstarch as it attracts bugs. And is there a homemade hack?
There is. I don't know it, but I'm sure you could Google it. And some people use Stayflow. It's cheaper. I've gotten so many questions. Why don't you use that? It's cheaper. I don't like it. And I don't want to, I just like the starch I like. And I've been buying it by the case because it's not in the grocery stores right now. So I will say that during the quarantine, it's been amazing how much my hoarding that I didn't think I had has helped, because I have enough starch. I've had enough shampoo, enough toothbrushes. I've had enough of almost everything.
Okay, from Sue Cleek, how is Virtual Quilt Market going to work in relation to you? You usually show us lots of stuff coming out, and will you be able to do that like schoolhouses?
No. So they're going to have a virtual quilt market the very first week of June. Mm-hmm. All of those things the manufacturers will be able to put on their site. And so that will, first they'll show to stores. I think it's June 2nd through the 4th. And we can watch it from home. And then all the manufacturers will put that on their social media pages. I do have the cap sets here from Moda. And next Tuesday, members only, I will have a video, and next Friday, I will show it to all of you guys. We just got that box, and all of it is sitting over there. We have to organize it, get all the kits together. We haven't even seen all of it. Like, for example, Shannon Fabrics. We're going to order that through a Zoom meeting, so we haven't even done that yet. So a lot of the stuff we're doing through just digital, like they email it, and we just handwrite our order, like put it in a spreadsheet and then email it back. So a lot of the things I haven't even seen in person. I'm trying to do it as, still show you stuff, but we don't have sales reps coming. We have a no visitor policy still. I don't know when we'll change it, but so we'll show you as much as we can. But we're not going in person, so it's not going to be the same.
From Bruce and Betsy Crackar, this is about the log cabin paper.
Okay.
When you fold back, is it helpful to have a piece of cardstock to make a clean fold? Like when you're folding the paper back too.
Oh, you could. I do it by hand. Yeah. So what she means is, so like when you're gonna sew the 1 and the 2 together right here, so that you can see it when you're sewing, because you sew on this side. What I do is I I just do a little line like that, and then when I look to the back, I can see that line, and that's how I do it. I don't use a cardboard, but I mean, it probably would be helpful.
I believe also the at a quarter plus ruler you showed earlier has like a slimmer, sharper edge so that you can use it to
Oh,
fold.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can use
Yeah,
that
I
too.
usually just don't do that because I usually keep that on one table, and then I don't have two.
Okay, funny comment from Shelly Edwards. She said Siri thought Kimberly said, "Hey Siri," when she had said a series. So her Siri turned on.
I don't have Siri. I don't have any of that stuff. My daughter has some stuff, and it really irks me that she has it. I don't like it. I'm like, the government could be spying on us. And Kevin's like, you are crazy. It's fine. And I'm like, you never know. I don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Google Homes at home, and they listen, and it starts to get creepy after a while.
Well, I already know, like, on my phone, like the other day, it was something very random that one of my kids needed for school. Something totally unrelated to me. We were talking about it, and then all of a sudden, all my Facebook ads was this product, and I'm like, why do I have these phones? But I mean, you know, it's a trade-off. It is what it is, I guess, but...
From Lana Sherman, are you going to do more Tulip Pink videos?
So we booked her 2 or 3 years in advance, and so, you know, we can book her, but it'll be like 2 or 3 years from now, and I'm sure she's going to be backlogged because everything that she was scheduled for has been pushed back. And obviously our channel is going to be a little bit different this year. We've canceled 3 or 4 guests because of the coronaviruses, so we will have less to give you because of what's going on in the world, and I have decided to not film for 2 weeks just because I'm trying to do all of the things. I'm doing a couple of people's jobs so they can work in the warehouse. I'm trying to help out when I can. And so things are just going to be a little bit different for now.
But if you do want to get a Tulip Pink fix, if you check out her Instagram, she's been doing a lot of videos on IGTV, and they're amazing. I know this because I personally just watched them.
And she did a really cool one of her studio. I want to just go hang out in her studio to get ideas on, she has really good organization. And I was like, I could use some of that tips.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Great videos.
What is IGTV? I don't even know. Is it just Instagram?
It's like Instagram, but you can post like longer videos on there.
Okay.
But it's all within the same app. So if you have Instagram, you can watch it right there. Okay. From Becky Moffat, how many Quilt Along, Sew Along, and Block of the Months are available right now? It seems like a lot to keep track of. However, I wish I could do them all.
It's really a lot, and so we just finished Charming Baby. We have Jolly Bar. Blockheads, that's not even ours. We just participate. There is one that Sherry McConnell is doing that I'm sewing along, and that is once a month. There's just a lot, and then we're going to have some stuff in July, and we're going to have some stuff in August. So we just have a lot planned, and you don't have to do them all. We might get complaints because we're doing the Jolly Bar will be at the same time as another one. It is what it is right now, like kind of everything is kind of a moving spots. It's like you're just doing what we can. We don't want to cancel what we had planned for July, so we just decided to move the Jolly Bar back.
From Beth G, is Fat Quarter Shop going to have the panel from Sunday Picnic? I saw it on your last Quilt Market video and I loved it.
We should have it. If we don't, it might be sold out, but we should have it.
Okay.
Or it might not have come yet. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think those were releasing around this time.
Yeah, I don't remember.
From Doodle Stitcher, will you guys have a brick and mortar store?
No.
From Susan Coiner, is the border fabric included in the Be Patriotic bundle?
No. So the bundle is really just kind of like a starter bundle. It's just a way to make your blocks, but she's going to do other stuff with it too, not just this quilt. And really her inspiration behind it was just to show that her Christmas book isn't just a Christmas book. It can be anything you want it to be. I mean, obviously if there's like a reindeer block, that's hard to not make Christmas, but there's a lot in there that is not. And then there's one other thing that's going to be used on the back where it's going to show you how, hey, it looks Christmassy, but it can look this other way, but she doesn't want me to tell you it, so I'm going to not.
All right, question from Jill Cooper. As a new quilter, when I see a fabric line that I love, how would you recommend building a stash? Should I plan and have a pattern in mind, or buy fat quarter bundles when I can for the most versatility?
I think it's really up to your budget and what you like. I tend to have a lot of charm packs and layer cakes. Those are my two favorite pre-cuts. Now, if I'm going to make a whole big quilt and I know I'm going to make a big quilt and I already have a pattern, then I would buy a fat quarter bundle. But if I'm just going to have it in my stash, I have a lot of layer cakes and charm packs. And if there's a background I like, I might buy 3 yards. I try to only buy what I know I'm going to sew. I try not to just have it, because then I'll never do it.
All right, from Louise Charlton. Hi, Kimberly and FQS team. Love the videos. I have a question. Why are the It's So Emma books all different sizes? They're difficult to sort. Love the coil and the nice shiny paper and covers.
So they're all different. We have different authors. We have different, Lori's books have this. We were the ones to develop it, and we only let Lori do it. So other authors who come along, we tell them, no, that's Lori's method. So this is Lori's. It was Lori's idea. It's going to stay Lori's. Smaller books, it's all just different, and it's going to always just be that way. We try to think of, what's the theme of it, or what's the feel of it, and the authors get to pick the paper. You'll notice an inside, Lori's paper won't be the same as our paper. Everyone gets to pick. There's different books. There's paper books, and you get to pick what you want. And what I do is I have a for sorting. I bought some. They're like very metal. They're white and they're from Michaels. They actually were really expensive, and so I kind of when I got to the cash register was like, what am I buying these for? But they're white and they just are like book holders, and I just put them in there, and they're all different sizes, and it's fine because it's like one container. So maybe finding like a container you could put them in instead of stacking or something like that. And I have that, I showed that in the video I did of the, maybe a month or two ago, of my sewing room.
Okay, from Dolores Vinson. What do they do to your ironing station to keep it from warping? I think she means the one you have at home.
So that is just plywood. It is just straight plywood, and then on top of it I put fleece, like something really thick. I think I put fleece, and then batting, and then I have like a cover, and then another cover on, and then the cover, and then what I do is I have a bolt of just white, and so I always keep that down so that I never have to wash the cover. So I iron on top of just a random white fabric, and then I change that out maybe every 2 to 3 weeks when it gets just crunchy or just too much stuff on it, because I don't really ever want to have to wash it. And then my uncle he brought his staple gun and he stapled it down for me because I don't have a staple gun.
Okay, nice comment from Sharon White. She says, I appreciate all you are doing. It is such a different time, but your videos are so terrific. I've been going back and watching past videos.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. If you guys have also been going back to like some older videos, I would love to know like what your favorite ones are.
Yeah, comment.
Yes, please comment below. From Andrea Peters, will there ever be a kit for the Summer Moon book?
There was, and that's now sold out. That one would be great to just have like a fat eighth bundle or layer cakes or just scraps. That one's really meant to just be very scrappy. So that would be one that would just be, pick a designer you like, pull some scraps, and just kind of pick the fabrics as you go. And I do find that when I'm picking fabrics, that is what slows me down the most. And that's why I made all of these blocks so quick, is Lori sent me pictures of all of her blocks because I didn't have the quilt yet. It was at the quilter. I printed them, and so all I had to do was cut and sew. So yes, picking fabrics can be a challenge. Just find something that might inspire you or that you like, and if you like the fabric, it'll go easier when you're trying to sew with it.
From WCLA 1958, she says, hi, I'm a beginner quilter and just bought my first cross-stitch pattern. The pattern I bought had a chart but no instructions. What do you do first? Also love both the channels and the shop.
So go to our Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube, and we have a playlist with tips for beginners. And then, if you can't find what you need, then I would just go on YouTube and say how to cross-stitch.
All right, and then we do have some super chats that came in during this time. April Kane put in a few. The first one is for $1.99 from April.
Thank you.
And then she put another one for $1.99, so thank you for those two. And then she put a third one for $4.99.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much, April. And she said, "Love that pillow. Also love documentaries. Thank you for the order. Can't wait."
Yay!
Awesome. Thank you, April. And then we had another super chat from Totus PRZ for $19.99. Thank you so much, Totus.
Thank you.
And then we also had a new YouTube member join us, Paulette Miller. So welcome to Paulette. Yay.
Thank you.
Okay. And then a comment here from KT Mackinac. Correct me if I said that wrong. She says, Kimberly is probably as excited as I am for Wednesday, Jeffrey Epstein docuseries.
Oh, I know. I am like ready to go. I'm going to stay up. No, not really. Stay up till midnight, but yes. I am out of things to watch. Like you guys, some of you guys have recently found our channel. I have found a lot of YouTubers that are just random. I found a really good true crime from Canada. It's called, oh my gosh, I can't even think of it. But I've just found some different true crime channels that are, because I've watched everything American, so I've just found a lot of different channels to watch because I'm out of things to watch. But the good thing is, now that there's no sports on, Dateline is always on every week. So a lot of times when basketball is on, Dateline is off. So let me tell you, Friday nights, I'm like, Dateline, it's on. Oh, I love it. I love Dateline. I love 2020. I love 48 Hours. I like all of the true crime stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, just a couple more questions here from Geraldine Bond. Do they bring out older fabric collections ever?
Not often. Not often. Okay. And that's the decision of the manufacturer. So.
Okay. And I have seen a few people here in the chat that are just wanting to make sure that their orders are okay and our shipping time's changing right now, and if we can inform them on that.
So our shipping time right now is, I would say 13 to 17 days, depending on what you ordered. And we're going in the order that they're placed. And we have two different departments in our warehouse. One is the department that fills if you have a pre-cut and yardage. So that's one department. And then we have a department that fills just the orders that just have pre-cuts where there's no cutting. And obviously that department is ahead because there's less to cut. But also it's not just having employees here, it's also following all of the rules, the CDC rules, and having one person to a cutting table versus two, and one puller for one cutter instead of, so it's just a lot of logistics to be able to keep our employees safe, follow all the laws, do everything that we're supposed to do. And there's really, I mean, Kevin and I have done everything that we can think of to do, but we're not Amazon and we don't have robots and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, from Carol Battle, would Fat Quarter Shop and Tulip Pink ever team up to do a special subscription box?
She does some boxes in our sew sampler, but we don't really, we kind of pick what goes in the sew sampler. We don't have one that goes with a designer. But usually she's in our box once a year. We do limit, I will say designers can only be in the box once a year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sweet comment here from Woolly Girl. I guess her name is Pam Miller. She says, I love your videos, Kimberly. Look forward to them every week. And Lily, you do a great job.
Yes, she does. Thank you.
Thanks. And then we also had a few more crime show recommendations here. I'm still gathering those for everyone because we said we would send those out for y'all. But from MJ Quilter, they said Canada crime show called Crime Beat.
Crime Beat. I'm trying to think of the one that I watch. The Fifth Estate. I think that's what it is. The Fifth Estate. And I don't know if it's, I haven't figured out if that's like a TV show that is on TV and then they put on YouTube, or if it's just content that goes straight to YouTube. But it's called The Fifth Estate, and I really like the commentator's voice. It's very soothing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and just the last thing I wanted to address here, I see Victoria Lopez has been trying to join our memberships during the live stream, and she's having a few difficulties. We will put a link to a live stream we did where I did like a little tech talk about how to join, but the things I can recommend for you right now is try it on a different device than the one you're on, especially if you're on an iPhone or iPad. That might help you. So either a computer or an Android. And if that still doesn't work, just put a comment in the live stream afterwards and I can help you out.
So guys, thank you. I really appreciate all of you watching. I appreciate all of your comments. I appreciate all of your emails, all of your orders, everything. I hope that something that I have shown today will inspire you to sew at home, and don't feel like you have to join every sew along. You definitely don't. We're just trying to show you stuff that that you can do at home, and you can pick what you like. So
also, super chat for $5 from Peach. Sorry, that just came in.
Hi, Peach.
She says you guys are the best. Thank you, Peach.
So guys, have a great weekend and have a really nice Memorial Day also.
All right. Bye, everyone.